Hello, and today I'm going to show you how I made my armor changing systems for my Zoid lookalike armors over here. And to start off with, this is the base model, or the base that's under each of the armors here. We have connectors that connect the cockpit to the rest of the system, a large hydrogen tank, a large reactor because this thing needs power, and then an O2 H2 generator. And then it's just connected to these small little thruster nacelles, as they were. Give this ship base amounts of flight. Now, I will be the first to admit, I am not the best at designing ships. Most of those are not the greatest. So I'm going to get the hotbar set up here, and then we'll get started building another set of armor for my little collection over here. Okay, to start off with, I have these merge blocks set up on the three corners, so there's one in the front, one at the top, and one at the bottom. Now to start with, you want to connect a merge block to each of these, facing the opposite direction so that they are connected and merged. Just like that. Next, I use Build Vision, but you really want to rename these as so that they're easy to find when you go to pull off the armor. So I'm just going to name it Test Merge Top, Front, and Bottom. Alright, now that they're all named, the next part, and I'm going to use light armor, is just to create the upper shell, or any of the shells. Now, I'm going to turn on symmetry. Now, obviously this isn't available if you're playing in survival, but for creative purposes, it helps a lot. So you just want to cover the top, which it worked a little bit better. Cover the top in these half merge blocks. Oh, it's probably because I was sitting there. It'd be helpful if I, there we go. I don't know why it didn't want to cooperate full. That's okay. Now, for me, when I get to here, I can switch to regular armor blocks, because now that they are not touching the bottom there. I'm going to do that. Let's go out to here. So there is the start of the top armor. As you can see, nothing is touching any of the blocks of the original ship. In fact, I'm going to change colors here real quick. So now it's a little easier to see that none of those blocks are touching. You can do the same for the front here. Because of this half armor, or this slope, none of those are going to touch. And that is very important, because on ships like this, where I had the front armor just barely touching the armor, or anything really, when you go to put it back, it can create some clang and not work correctly. So you want a good bit of distance, or at least 8 blocks worth of distance in between everything. Like if I were to put something here, there's a very good chance it would clang when I was pulling it apart. Half block, though, will work just fine. We're just going to half block up the front of this. That's not a half block. Oh, it is a half block. There we go. So none of that is touching, and that will come off nice and cleanly when we go to pull it apart. Same for over here, over the wing. We're just going to do that. And then again right here. I probably wouldn't put a full block, but you could put... you know what? Let's try something different. Let's try one of these. That way, it is definitely not touching, but you still have solid surfaces on all the other sides. So we'll switch back to the light armor block. Oh, I just remembered why I didn't put stuff there. That is above the engines. That's okay. So we've got that. I'm going to keep accenting that, apparently. Now we have the bases of the top of the ship here. Center, is that the problem? Why that one didn't work right there. But the same principle works going down the side here. So if we pick a Y, it's such a hard time clicking today. You just don't want any of these blocks touching anything that comes or in contact with the ship. So, like that block right there, you don't need that. We're just going to build up a nice little area and try and make it look nice. Now, I am not the best at making things look nice, but I am learning and trying to get better. So right here, we could put a block, but it's going to interact with the wing right there, so we don't want that. We can put half blocks. And then once we get here, we can do blocks like this that give us the clearance we need to get around this. In fact, I would bet we could do that right here. And give us enough clearance to cleanly pull on and off this top armor. And I'm going to do the same on this side here. If I can get the block to cooperate. So that is completely clear and will provide at least a little bit of extra armor against anything attacking. And then right here we can do a similar thing where we use the half armor blocks to give us just that half a block space in between the body and the armor, so that they don't collide when pulling it on and off, and we can get an extra bit of armor out of here. Now I'm going to finish up trying to make this look nice. I think what we're going to do is make it a little bit rounder. Went the wrong way. Like I said, I am not the best when it comes to making armor pretty. Not the right way, is it? It is not. I don't think that's the right block anyway. That's the one I was looking for. Once again, right here, if we look, we should be able to fit a full block. No. We shouldn't be able to fit a full block there. So we're going to go back to the half armor slab. Just put those in there to give us that little block of, or that little air gap to prevent it from clanging when we take it off. Now the other thing to keep in mind is with this one, I'm going to have a bottom section and a top section, and I don't want those to touch. Now, unfortunately, I've made it in such a way that because of this half armor block, I can't put half armor this way. And as far as I'm aware, there's no corner blocks. Or there might be. I'll have to take a quick peek here. But I don't think there is. So, we're just going to leave that as that. I'm going to work on the front here and make it look a little bit prettier. Now, because of the shape, I can actually bring this down. Well, I don't want to bring it down below that. I can bring this down and make this a little bit nicer in the front here. Again, I'm very... we do half blocks there. I was about to say I'm very hard at, or not very good at making nice looking ships, but with that, we have that block of air between the ship and the the armor top. We can even armor up this just a little bit more, and then figure out how to get it all connected. In fact, I'm going to put a half block there, and then we'll put... That'll work. And right there, we'll just put one of those. Not the prettiest, but it's the workings of the top armor for this ship. Now I'm going to use the same principles real quick to make a front armor. I'm going to do a very simple square-nosed front here, and then we're going to make it look pretty by just doing that. And the reason for this is to pull the armor off the front, you need at least a flat surface to connect to. In fact, I may... That shouldn't have any problems, but we'll see when we go to pull the armor off. That could be very fun. But I'm going to continue and just make armor down the side here, and right here I can't do a full block because it would connect, but I can do a half block and pull that armor really close right next to the cockpit here. And because it's the cockpit, in fact, I'm going to go right there, I can double up the armor so it'll have 2 blocks of armor from the sides that it would have to go through before it could hit the actual cockpit itself. I'm going to finish building this up here real quick. Now I'm going to try... I said there wasn't quarter blocks. It'd be helpful if I hit the right button. We're going to use that, at least temporarily, to give us some definition on... I don't like that at all. So let me look for something a little bit better. Found the block I was looking for. There we go. So now I don't have to worry about those connecting, and we have this nice little front to the boat, or to the ship. Now this merge block right here, along this, I would not... You could probably armor up the behind it, but I wouldn't armor up in front because this piston extends down to lock it to the platform here. Now right here, because of the way, you can use the slopes to kind of create a gap, and then use the slabs to finish it off. And then I have to find the block again. You can make it look at least a little bit nice underneath, but still have access to the piston and everything else. Now the other thing that I found that could potentially work, and I still have to work on trying to get it to look nice, is using window panes to potentially armor up the cockpit just a little bit more, so you're not having to worry about potentially or to armor up, I should say, the cockpit just a little bit more. It's not going to be a lot, obviously, because it's still just a window pane, but it would give you just a little bit extra protection against fire. The problem is I have no way of knowing, or no way of making this look good around this. I am just not talented enough yet to do that. But anyway, same principle applies for the bottom. You build this out just like you did the top. The biggest thing is you just don't want the two connecting. So if we were to do an armor block there, like, you don't want this block here because now the top and bottom are connected and it won't ever pull apart. Now if we did this out just one more, which is what I think I did on the other ships, you can put a half block here to leave just a half block gap between the top and the bottom to further protect the ship. Now if I had done the same on the top, it would have looked a little bit better, but I didn't. So unfortunately I would have to go and redesign this whole top to match the bottom, like I have over here, where there's just a half block gap between the top and the bottom, so the chance of bullets getting in and hitting the inside armor is lower. Oh, just like the other ships, I've built a small little platform over here to merge to. Real quickly, I have both of these on blocks on the heart bar here to extend and turn off the front piston here, and merge block. Very hard to see because I'm really far off. But once you get close enough, you're going to lock to the plate and everything's going to explode. horribly. Whoops. Thankfully, quick loading is a feature, and unfortunately we did lose the bottom armor there, but that's okay. I have birdied the platform a bit, but before, I'm going to save real quick, just in case it does the same thing, which I have a feeling it's going to, because unfortunately this is just small blocks, and it is quite large now, so I'm guessing that's part of the problem. Yeah, it was because it was just that little connector. It needs to be a lot more solid. So now we're going to make the apparatus to take the top armor off here. So for the rest of them, I've used 3 pistons. This one is a little bit lower, so I'm going to use 2 blocks and then the landing gear. But now I want to go in and rename all these pistons so that I know what they are. Test top 1. We're going to lower the velocity should be fine. And we're going to reverse at least the first 2 here. A little spin. Test top 2. And I'm going to reverse this one, but I'm going to keep an eye on it because it may just connect. Okay, good, it didn't. And then for this one, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rename it top 3. This one, I am going to turn the velocity down because when I reverse it, I want to make sure that the maximum distance is very low so that it will not connect. In fact, we can turn the velocity up. So as you can see, it did not connect to the ship, but it is very close. So we're going to go down to the maximum distance, and we're just going to scroll up until we get close, and then just do it little by little until it gives us a connection. So right about there. Okay. Then we can come over here, create a little platform. So I can put a seat down. I didn't really want to replace the piston, but whatever. Alright, and then we're going to go to the top bar, or the bar. We're going to do test. We're going to find the test top piston. Set it to toggle on off. And then we want to go into the control panel, find the 3 pistons, group them together, test top pistons, save. I'm going to click this button and hope nothing breaks. And then we're going to go to the groups, find the test top piston. We're going to turn off the top armor using 9, and then we're just going to retract. And away the top armor goes. Now, it's important to keep the merge block on the hotbar here, because otherwise you can't turn it back on. But if it's on the hotbar already, you can turn it on. And then same thing, we're going to turn it on. We're going to extend the pistons. It's going to lock into place. We want to find... I didn't rename the landing gear. This is why renaming stuff is very important, especially when you're dealing with all of this. Test up. Come back over here. Get in the chair. Find the landing gear. Put it on here. Do switch lock. Unlock it and pull it off. And that is how you do the armor system, at least with landing gear. Now I want to try it with pistons, and in fact we can do so right now. So we're going, or with merge blocks I should have said. So we're going to do that. Throw a merge block on there. Extend it out. And because this is in a weird spot, I can still do it, but it's... you know what, we're just going to put it on top there. Now, unfortunately, I have to rename this merge block too, so we need to get into build vision. Test top merge block 2. I just heard something fire, so we need to sort that out. I knew that was going to happen. Hold on. Unfortunately, that caused me to lose a little bit, so we're just going to go through and rename all of these one more time. I've already done the top 2. Now, with this one, instead, what we're going to do is put the merge block on here. We're going to extend this down. Probably not all the way, so we're going to do like 1.5. Now, the problem I had last time is the merge block was way too close. Oh, I didn't add blocks on this. That's okay. We can do that real quick. If I, was able to do this. Alright, we're going to delete that. Put a block. And then the merge block. I don't want them getting close. So I'm going to turn off this merge block. We're going to rename it keep test top merge block X. And then we're going to slowly bring up the merge until they're touching. There we go. That way, when I turn this on, things don't explode. As bad. Alright. Oh, I even deleted the chair. That's unfortunate. So far, we're looking good. Alright, so, same thing. We've got to turn off, we have to find the test top merge block. So, oh. I renamed the wrong one. That's fine, we can fix this. Test top merge block X. Okay, so we need this instead of the landing gear. We need the top one, and then we need the piston group. So we need to go back in and redo the piston group. I'm not going to share inertial tensor because I think that was what possibly caused it before. So we're going to reverse. Alright, so let's try this. We're going to turn off this, and then we're going to pull this up. So it pulled up just fine. Now I'm going to turn on the test top pistons inertial so they don't wobble around so much. We're going to turn this back on. We're going to extend this. This is a bit fast, but that's okay. We're going to turn this off and then pull this up. And in theory, this works just the same with the merge block. Okay. And then we can do the same thing. Pull away and pull up and go down, and everything works great. So that's how you create this armor changing system with either the landing gear or a merge block. I don't know which one. I kind of like the landing gear a little bit better. But if you have any questions, please let me know. And thank you for watching. Actually, since I just saw something, let's test out the Schneider here. Because I see an enemy on the horizon. We'll pull out all the blades here. And I learned a trick that I need to rotor lock these when they are extended. So we're going to do that. Hinge lock, rotor lock. So now that they're all extended, we're going to turn those all on, and we're going to go after that chip right there and see if we can do some damage with our blades and the shield, just to make sure that we have a shield. That's small battery. The shield generators, they have shield. All right, let's see how well this works. We're going to go in. This is going to shoot at us, but we're just going to try and ram the ship and see if our shields hold out and if the blades work as intended. And hopefully this looks cool. All right. We need to line up. That was a direct hit. It took out the cockpit, unfortunately. But like I thought, the armor protected not everything inside, but the main body of the ship is mostly undamaged, other than the cockpit, which is something I still have to figure out. While that floats away, we're going to take a look at what we hit. I'm curious what damage that happened to it. It's one of these small grids. Oh, there's... It thoroughly took out that ship. Surprisingly. And like I said, I mean, other than the fact that I hit it head on and took out the cockpit, most of the ship is intact. Except for, you know, the cockpit. So that was actually way more successful than I thought for ramming a ship. So that was fun. But yeah, thank you. Well, hopefully you enjoy this, and I'll continue to make cool things like this in future in Space Engineers.